Welcome to our quick tour of Goodwood 2019 because, well, there's so much here and I'm going to miss stuff out, and I know there's going to be something you say, why didn't you point at that? But this is just my top 5 things that I think you should go and have a look at in this vast site. So off we go. There might be more than 5. One of the big themes at the Festival of Speed this year is Michael Schumacher at 50, and they've got all sorts of cars, a whole phalanx of Ferraris down there. But this particular car is the one I wanted to talk about. This is the B194 Benetton. It's the first year that the Benettons went from camel to mild 7 livery, and for personal reasons I suppose this is just it's what I wanted to talk about, because I remember sitting up watching that final race of the season in Adelaide where he took out Damon Hill, who is here somewhere today. He won 6 out of the first 7 races in this car, which is made all the more extraordinary by the fact that the other drivers that drove this said it was particularly difficult to drive. They said it was lacking in feel and then really snappy oversteer when it actually got to the limit. Of course, there weren't meant to be any electronic aids on it in this year, but they did have a launch system, a start sequence. Did that equate to traction control? Well, they never really got to the bottom of it, did they? Anyway, onwards to more things. And now for something rather older. This is the oldest surviving Bentley. It's in fact chassis number 2, EXP2, EXP being the experimental, it's the pre-production car, the prototype moniker given to these cars. I've got some of the stats here actually. So price new, £425 in 1923. It's got a 3-litre 4-cylinder engine in it, 4-speed box, 175 brake horsepower, top speed of 79.3 miles an hour. And I like this. So this was from the original review from The Autocar at the time, from the motoring journalist CH Sammy Davis. For the man who wants a true sporting type of light-bodied car for use on a continental tour where speed limits are not meant to be observed, the 3-litre Bentley is undoubtedly the car par excellence. They don't write them like that anymore, do they? They say its value is incalculable. DFB going past over there. Probably one of the most recent cars to win a race, possibly the most recent winning car is this, which won at the Nürburgring 24 Hours. It looks suitably beaten up. This is how race cars should look, isn't it, really, after the end of a race? This has been in a proper fight. I love things like this, where you just walk up Ford GT, going past there. And then of course, back here to an older, much older Le Mans car. Sounds good. This, seemingly abandoned Mercedes Sauber C9. Mark Cosworth, DFB. I don't even know what that is, but this Mercedes Sauber C9, Sauber Mercedes C9 rather, is just one of the prettiest Group C cars ever. And over there they've got the C11, which was the first one that was just Mercedes. It wasn't Sauber as well. And of course Michael Schumacher drove that. So there we are. As we're passing here, new Defender, still all under camo wrap, but fundamental shape looks quite good, and some big old round lights in there, sort of mimicking the old one. Obviously it disguises long rectangle, obviously is going to be a big round light under there, because do the opposite. Anyway, this way. This is an autonomous tractor, which kind of makes sense because so much is done by sort of GPS anyway now. The thing that I can't quite get my head around is because, I mean, it looks quite scary, doesn't it? Did they have to make it look so threatening? It's like in Transformers, they lived among us. No, it's all right, I found one, it's there. One of the cars I didn't actually know much about, but I subsequently looked up, is this 917K that's road registered. So this was owned by Count Rossi. It's a very cool story. He wanted to road register it for Monaco so he could drive it around the streets. It was a race car, it's a race car chassis, it raced for Porsche. I think it even won for Porsche. Then in 1971-ish, I think he bought it from them. So he trimmed it out inside in beautiful buff leather and I think he tried to get it registered in Monaco and they said no, naff off. And then tried it in Switzerland, they also said no, naff off. He eventually shipped it out to Texas and they said that's fine, but you can't drive it within a certain, that close to the border. So it was registered only in one state. That's all he needed. And then he shipped it back to Monaco and drove it around there on Texas plates. How cool is that? 600 brake horsepower and kind of, you know, whatever is half the weight of a current GT3 or something like that. Nuts, but fantastic. So there we are, that is a very quick roundup of just a tiny fraction of the cars here. We wanted to show you even more because there's the Cartier Style looks, there's all the supercars which we covered in other videos obviously as well. There's, I don't know, there's an IMSA Audi Quattro over there, there's Burns' Subaru Impreza. There's so much here that we've missed out, but hopefully you've enjoyed what we have shown you. And I thought I'd end up here next to the Aston Martin DBR1 because this is the car that's also on the sculpture in front of the house. It also happens to be one of my absolute favourite cars of all time. I've never driven one, I've driven a DB3S, I was lucky enough to drive a friend's one of those. But if this is just like an improved version of that, then it will be everything that I've ever hoped it would be. Sadly, I would need several lottery wins ever to own one. At least I can come here and look at it though.